Yeah. So like I said, we have 9 locations up and running right now. And then we have another 4 in July, 3 in August in Vancouver, and then in October, 4 locations in Victoria. We've got bits and pieces left in Ontario, and we're hoping to finish, kind of February or March next year. We've recently moved to in-person training sessions. So it's about a 6 hour all day session. We go to a location that's had Meal Suite, and everyone who's going to be launching with the program goes through. Our implementation specialist will lead us through a bunch of different things. So they'll help them set up their menu, any of the a la cartes that they're doing, their dining room maps, and moving from that, weekly online session to an in-person. What we found like online was, if you're working from a computer, you live and die by your calendar. If you're working in the kitchen, you live and die by the menu and what's happening. Nobody really looks at their calendar and Outlook, right? Like they're just really focused on that. So we have a lot of people missing calls and whatnot. So
Yeah.
that in person has really helped. And then having the Meal Suite team just double check to make sure that everything is there and that the teams are comfortable with it, especially on those one-time setup things. And then we set the launch date where it's usually, 3 or 4 days, and we have 1 or 2 Meal Suite people on site for the launch and making sure that everything's going smooth. And, I've done a fair bit of change management over my career. The first day is always, it's always a little bit rough. So
Hmm.
once we get past that first service, and then they can iron out any kinks. And then the second service goes better. Usually by day 2 or by day 3 of using the system, 99% of those kinks have been worked out, especially in the dining room service. We have follow-up calls for 3 or 4 weeks afterwards to address any issues that are with that. And a majority of those come in through the office manager, like things like billables, moving residents in and out. And
Hmm.
so, the first week we might have 8 items that come up. The second week it's down to 3. The third week it might be 1 or 2. And then usually on the fourth week, we're able to eliminate those. It's been a really good implementation so far.